Good morning, students. So today we start our chapter 4. In second topic is geosynthetics, and first topic is problematic soils. Right. So second is geosynthetics. So the word geo refers to an end use associated with improving the performance of a civil engineering works, which involves earth, ground, or soil. So the word synthetics refers to the fact that the materials are almost man-made, and these materials used in the manufacture of geosynthetics are primarily synthetic polymers, generally derived from crude petroleum oils, although rubbers, fiberglass, and other materials are also sometimes used. So these geosynthetics are fabric-like materials made from polymers such as polypropylene, polyethylene, polyester, polyvinyl chloride, which is known as PVC, and nylon, and etc. Right. So the term geosynthetics includes the following, which is the geotextiles, uh, geogrids, geomembranes, geonets, geocomposites. Right. So each type of geosynthetics performs one or more of the following major function, which is the reinforcement, separation, filtration, drainage, fluid barrier, protection, right? So first we're talking about geotextiles, right? So this textiles are planar, permeable, polymeric textile products in the form of flexible sheets. So geotextiles are classified as under. So it's divided into the two parts, which is first one is a woven, which is made by weaving process and used for strength and erosion control purpose, and second is non-woven, which is made by bonding process used for filtration and drainage, right? And woven is also then classified into the three types, which is monofilament, multifilament, and tap threaded. And the other side, non-woven is also divided into three parts. First one is a mechanical bonded, also known as a needle punch. Second is chemical bonded, known as a resins, and third one is a thermal bonded, which is known as a heat treated, right? So this geotextiles may be also knitted as a well type or wear type. Well type is used for wrapping around the slotted pipe, and wear type is used as a reinforcement. So woven geotextile, so this type of geotextile produced by interlacing at right angles two or more sets of yarn using a conventional weaving process with a weaving loom. So it may be monofilament and multifilament or tap threading. So talking about non-woven geotextile, so a geotextile produced from directionally or randomly oriented fibers into the loose wave by bonding with needle punching, chemical binding agents, or as a heat treatment. So here, chemical binding agents includes glue, rubber, latex, cellulose, etc. And heat treatment mean that it's melting process, right? So next is knitted geotextiles. So geotextile produced by interlooping one or more yarns together with a knitting machine instead of weaving loom, right? And last one is a stitched geotextile. So textile in which fibers or yarn or both are interlocked or bonded by stitching or sewing. So the main functions of geotextiles are separation, reinforcement, drainage and filtration, and erosion control. So as you can see in this figure, first figure shows as a woven type material, second one is a non-woven, and the third one is as a knitted, right? So next classification talk about is geogrids. So these are a planar polymetric polymeric products consist of mesh or net like regular open network of intersecting tensile resisting elements called ribs, integrally connected at the junctions. So the ribs can be linked by extrusion, bonding, or interlacing. So the resulting geogrids are extruded geogrid and bonded geogrid and the woven geogrids. So extruded geogrids are classified into the following two categories, which is based on the direction of a stretching during their manufacture. First is a uniaxial geogrid and second one is biaxial geogrid. So in uniaxial geogrid, it is produced by longitudinal scratching of regularly punched polymer sheets, and it has a higher tensile strength in the longitudinal direction than in a transverse direction. Right? Now talking about biaxial geogrid. So it is produced by stretching in both longitudinal and transverse direction of a regularly punched polymer sheet. So in geogrids, the reinforcing functions is achieved by positive interlocking of the fill materials into the apparatus or openings, while in a geotextile, the reinforcing function is achieved by the surface friction between the fabric and the soil film. So here, first figure is extruded, uniaxial and biaxial, right? Like this one. Second one is bonded, which is bond by two or more sheets. And third one is the figure is shown as woven material. So main function of geogrids is a reinforcement. So next classification is geomembranes. So these are planar, impermeable synthetic sheets manufactured from the materials of low permeability to control the fluid migration in a project as a barrier or linear, right? So this includes HDPE, PVC or PP liners, etc. are and basically impervious. So many screen reinforced geomembranes manufactured in a single piles have a thickness that range from 0.25 to about 0.4 mm. So these single piles of geomembranes can be laminated together to make a thick geomembrane. So some geomembranes is made from PVC and polyethylene may be as thick as 4.5 to 5 mm. So there are some tests which is conducted on geomembranes when they are used as a landfill liners, right? So it's a density, mass per unit area, water vapor transmission capacity, tensile behavior, tear resistance, impact resistance, puncture resistance, stress cracking, chemical resistance, and UV resistance, etc. As you can see this figure is geomembranes. So the most important aspect of construction with geomembranes is the preparation of the joints, right? Otherwise, the basic reason for using geomembranes as a liquid or vapor barrier will be defeated. So geomembrane sheets are generally seamed together in the factory to prepare larger sheets. So these larger sheets are filled, seamed into their final positions. So these are several types of machines as shown in figure. Right? As you can see in this figure. Okay, so first one is applying adhesive. First one is a lap seam. The B is a lap seam with the gum type. Gum is provided at the end of this this joint, right? C is a tongue and groove splice. D figure is describe extrusion wheel lap seam. E a fillet wheel lip seam, and F is a double hot air or wedge seam. Right, so these all are the configuration of filled geomembrane seams A, B, C, D, E, F. Right, so the main function of geomembranes is a liquid barrier or liner. The fourth classification is geonets. So these are planar polymeric products consisting of regular dense network of integrally connected parallel sets of ribs, which is overlying similar sets as a various angles. So this includes HDPE and LDPE nets and have functions similar to geogrids. So here geonet photos are given. So geonets are mainly used as a reinforcement. Next classification is geocomposite. Composite means adding uh, two or more members or two or more materials. It's known as a composite. So here, these all are made of bonding together geomembranes and geotextiles with some of the materials for specific application in drainage, erosion control, bank protection, etc. So two or more materials may be combined, of which at least one is geosynthetic of some type. So typical geotextile related products are geocell, geomat, geopipe, geoform, geomass, and geospatial. So here, first one is the geocell. So three-dimensional permeable polymeric honeycomb or web structure assembled from geogrids and special Botkin coupling in a triangular and square sets in a figure, as you can see in this figure. The second is geoform. So a polymeric materials manufactured by the application of the polymer in semi-liquid from through the use of a forming agent to have lightweight material in a slab or block from with a high void content for the use of lightweight fields, thermal insulators, and drainage channels. So these all are geocells, right? Factory produce the collapse and expansive forms, geopipes, right? Okay, so next is a geomat. So three-dimensional polymeric structures and permeable made of coarse and rigid uh, at their functions used at the junctions used to reinforce the roots of vegetations and to extend the erosion control, right? Geomass, a geosynthetic with a planar woven structures having a large pore sizes which varies from several to several centimeter for the use in mainly erosion control works. Geopipes, a plastic pipe which is smooth or corrugated with or without perforation, placed beneath the ground surface and subsequently backfilled. Geospacer, a three-dimensional polymeric molded structure consisting of dispirated or corrugated plates with a larger voids. So what are the function of geosynthetics? So geosynthetics always perform one or more of the following functions when used in contact with soil, rock, and any other civil engineering related materials, which is reinforcement, separation, filtration, drainage, fluid barriers, protection, etc.